Moments ago, news about Mike Rowe lit up social media and broadcast alerts, catching fans and followers off guard. Known for celebrating the grit and perseverance of everyday workers, Mike has spent decades bringing attention to America's toughest jobs. Today, however, the spotlight shifts from the people he honored to Mike himself. At 62, the man whose voice narrated grime, sweat, and dedication revealed a deeply personal decision. One that changes how we see not just his career, but the mission he's championed his entire life. This moment is as reflective as it is surprising. Early life in Baltimore. The roots of storytelling before television and fame. Mike Rowe grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, immersed in theater, music, and storytelling. His baritone voice, so recognizable today, was honed in school plays and choir rehearsals. He credits his grandfather, a skilled tradesman, as a formative influence, shaping his respect for hard work and craftsmanship. While his peers admired superheroes, Mike admired calloused hands and quiet dignity. This early admiration for labor set the foundation for his career. Education and creativity intertwined, guiding him toward a communications degree from Towson University and planting seeds for a future in narration and public storytelling. The first steps, from opera to live television. After college, Mike pursued voice work and trained with the Baltimore Opera Company. His vocal talent could fill concert halls, yet his heart yearned for a more personal connection. Television offered a bridge between performance and everyday life. He began narrating commercials and experimenting with live broadcasts, landing an unexpected role on live shopping television. Night after night, he honed timing, humor, and authenticity, learning to engage audiences without scripts. These early experiences, though far from the grime of later work, would prove essential, teaching him how to communicate clearly, connect emotionally, and find joy in even the most ordinary moments. The call that changed everything. In 2003, Mike received an offer to host a show highlighting America's messiest, most overlooked occupations. The premise was simple: dive into difficult, unpleasant work and document the experience. What emerged, however, was far more profound. Mike didn't treat these jobs as spectacle. Instead, he honored the people doing them. Crawling through sewers, working on oil rigs, handling livestock, and facing industrial hazards, he approached each task with humility and curiosity. He became a conduit between viewers and workers, humanizing labor often dismissed by society. The show transformed not only television, but also cultural perception of skilled labor. Humanizing the hidden workforce. Mike's approach turned odd, dangerous, and messy jobs into relatable stories. Viewers weren't just watching extreme labor, they were meeting real people: pig farmers, miners, sanitation workers, and fishermen. Through interviews, shared laughter, and candid struggles, he celebrated resilience, ingenuity, and character. His narration elevated ordinary tasks to poetry, revealing dignity in work often overlooked. Audiences began to see value in effort rather than fame, respect over recognition. The success of the series created a new kind of celebrity, one rooted not in glamour, but in authenticity, curiosity, and a profound respect for the American workforce. Beyond television, building a legacy. When the series concluded, many expected Mike's presence to fade from public consciousness. Instead, he doubled down on his mission. Traveling across the country revealed a growing skills gap and the social stigma surrounding trades. Determined to act, he launched the Mike Rowe Works Foundation in 2008, awarding millions in scholarships to welders, plumbers, electricians, and mechanics. Mike became a voice advocating for dignity in labor, challenging the cultural bias that a college degree was the only path to success. His work bridged the gap between aspiration and opportunity, reshaping how young people in society view skilled trades. Returning the favor, celebrating everyday heroes. Mike extended his influence beyond scholarships. Through initiatives like Returning the Favor, he spotlighted everyday heroes, emphasizing community, compassion, and resilience. His podcast, The Way I Heard It, combined storytelling with unexpected twists, earning comparisons to Paul Harvey. Through short, sharp narratives, Mike celebrated ordinary individuals doing extraordinary things. These projects reinforced a consistent message. Heroism isn't always visible, and value isn't always measured by wealth or status. By highlighting quiet perseverance, Mike expanded the cultural understanding of success, teaching audiences that dignity, effort, and integrity often matter more than recognition. The toll of a life on the road. Years of rigorous work, travel, and physical challenges eventually caught up with Mike. Crawling through confined spaces, lifting heavy materials, and constantly being on the move left a toll on his body. Though often joked about, the physical and emotional strain was real. Carrying the responsibility of advocating for skilled labor, while simultaneously managing public initiatives, became increasingly heavy. Yet even in adversity, Mike continued to prioritize authenticity, connection, and storytelling. His resilience inspired millions, but his recent announcement reminds us that even the most steadfast among us must eventually acknowledge limits. Stepping back. A new chapter. In a candid statement, Mike revealed he will step back from much of his public work. Doctors have advised him to slow down and focus on his health. Leadership of his foundation will pass to capable successors, ensuring the mission endures. He will continue to podcast, speak, and engage with audiences, but at a more measured pace. This transition is not an ending, but a rebalancing of priorities. Mike's decision underscores a timeless lesson. Even those who champion others must allow themselves rest, reflection, and care, demonstrating that strength is also found in knowing when to pause. A legacy that endures. Mike Rowe's influence extends far beyond television. His work has reshaped how society views labor, inspiring a generation to value effort over accolades. His foundation supports apprenticeships, scholarships, and educational initiatives that continue to provide pathways into skilled trades. Classrooms now use his footage to teach respect for work, families discuss his experiences, and young workers see possibility where once there was doubt. Mike's legacy is not measured solely in accolades, but in cultural impact, the countless lives touched, and the appreciation he cultivated for those who keep the world running behind the scenes. Conclusion. The light that continues. As Mike steps into a quieter chapter, his light remains undimmed. The lessons of dignity, curiosity, and respect for hard work continue to resonate. He has shown that storytelling can honor labor, inspire change, and transform perception. While he slows down, the work he inspired carries on through those he uplifted, educated, and celebrated. His story reminds us that legacy is not built on fame alone, but on the values instilled, the courage to highlight the unseen, and the generosity to create opportunities for others. Mike Rowe's voice may soften, but its echoes will continue to guide generations,